Grant Hall is with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Always associated you with fire, Grant, or not. Just that was the songs we were talking about. Hey, PGA Championship, how'd you enjoy that?
It was a lot of fun. You know, it got pretty good there on the back nine on Sunday just for a little bit. And Scheffler kind of had to win it twice. You know, he had that great stretch Saturday of 5 under on 5 holes. And then I think he hit about 8 shots to the left on the front nine on Sunday. And finally, his caddy, Teddy, said, why don't you aim a little bit to the right? So he got going again. He got 6 ahead and won by 5. So he's kind of the man right now.
Yeah, sometimes it's simple in the little things. Hey, is Scotty and Rory, since they've won the first 2 majors this year, if they got their A game, are those the 2 best players in the world? Who else would you put up there with those guys?
Yeah, I think so, Matt. I mean, I guess, you know, you could maybe put DeChambeau, who's been prominent in some majors the last few years. But, those 2. And, of course, Rory found out on Tuesday his driver wasn't conforming. These thin-faced drivers only last a while. I think Scheffler's lasted almost a year, but his backup was better than Rory's backup. You know, I think the thing that Roy didn't talk to the media 4 straight days. I think he felt singled out, that he was the one that they were talking about his driver. And there, you know, there are 50 players tested. They don't release the results. They probably should. But it turned out that, like I was just talking to somebody Sunday, father of one of the players, and he mentioned that Scotty was having to use a new driver also. I told Michael Bamberger, the next thing you know, that he was asked about it in the post-game, the post-round press conference, and it kind of became a big deal. But, I mean, and DeChambeau was another guy. I mean, he was hitting at 360, 370. There was speculation about his driver, but they don't give the results, so you just have to kind of find them out.
That's interesting. I guess I should have known that they would check at least some of the equipment to make sure that it conforms to standards. We do that in college baseball. I think a couple weeks ago, Grant Vahiva Aloy wasn't allowed to use a bat of his because it had been dented too much from too much contact. And think of how the kind of contact he makes is going to dent the bat sometimes, right?
Yeah, I remember when Lundqvist was hitting all those home runs years ago for Arkansas. Those bats looked like tennis rackets for a while. You know, they were pretty big, and then they had they changed the specs, I guess you'd call it. But Scheffler said he'd be fine with testing every player's driver every week. You know, he would welcome that. So I don't think they're going to do that, though.
Hey, just to wrap up golf here with you, I know that the women's team yesterday was eliminated by Northwestern, but I mean, celebrating a national champion in Maria Jose Marin. I mean, this is now a tradition at Arkansas. It's 3 of the women's national champions: Stacey Lewis, Maria Fassi, and now Maria Jose Marin. It's just that's a really great tradition that's been building up at Arkansas women's golf.
Yeah, and she played great, and she's got 2 more years at Arkansas, and her dad assured me a couple of years ago she was going to play all 4 here, get that education. I think it's a little bit tough for somebody that just won the individual to have to come back and play the next day with a team trying to, get through the quarterfinal match and match play, and they lost 3-2 to Northwestern. And then Northwestern won another 3-2 match, I think, over Oregon, and they got to the finals today against Stanford. Stanford probably, not probably, they were by far the best team this year. They won by a lot, the stroke part. So, but yeah, Arkansas, another great year, and out of this, Maria gets to play in the U.S. Women's Open. She's already in that.
That's super. That's super. All right, you're going to be at the softball regional or super regional here. I was thinking about there's some similarity here between baseball and softball with this super regional, and I don't mean this year's baseball team. You remember in 2019, Arkansas baseball lost 2 of 3 at home to Ole Miss in the regular season, and then hosted them in a super regional and beat them 2 out of 3 to go to Omaha. And kind of hoping the same thing happens here for Courtney's team. And, considering that they lost 2 out of 3 to Ole Miss back in March, I'm not sure if that series really means all that much right now.
Yeah, And of course, Bree Ellis getting National Player of the Year is great. I noticed I think they had one other player, like maybe on the second team, and that might motivate some of these other players, that might have felt left off their team. But yeah, Saturday I'm going. There's a family wedding. My granddaughter Anna's getting married over in Poto, Oklahoma, and we're going to be over there Friday and Saturday. But I may get back here on Sunday. Sunday, the Ellis Bogan Memorial 2-man golf scramble is going to be held, and who knows what the weather. You hesitate anymore to even plan stuff with all this. I got back about 30 minutes after I got back Monday. The tornado warnings, and I'll tell you, Monday night, the thing must have gone right over it. It went through Greenland, and people were telling me take cover and all this stuff, and I heard noises like I've never heard coming through our house. But up here in our neighborhood, everything was pretty much good. I'll tell you, there's some huge trees down at Paradise Valley even right now, and one is blocking the fairway on the 11th hole, so they turned it into a par 3 for a little bit.
Yeah, no, the baseball teams are going to be flying I think they're flying out of Drake today, so they'll probably get a good look at some of it when they get that close to Greenland. So really kind of frightening stuff. But it looks like last night, right now, hopefully the rest of the week, we're kind of in the clear. Got a thought on the SEC baseball tournament, what it might mean for this team? I think they're going to go try to win the thing. I don't think they're going to be holding anybody back.
I think you just show up and play. Like I'm watching today, Texas A&M is leading 8-0 over Mississippi State, and they tried to steal a base a while ago. And as you know, Phil, you wouldn't do that in a normal game, but if it would help them get a 10-run rule and save some pitching, I guess that's considered to be okay in baseball. And a couple of notable games today. I mean, Alabama against Tennessee could be for a top 16 seed, they were saying, at a scheduled 1:00 game, and then tonight at 8:00, Florida against Ole Miss could be for the same thing. So, I mean, there are always things you can look at and say this means that and that means that. But I think Dave's probably always taken the approach, just go down there, enjoy the tournament, play the best you can, and they've got a good situation regardless. But you're going to play 3 games at most, so it should be pretty good for their pitching, right?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, first of all, they don't have anything to prove while they're there. They could lose Friday, and they're still a top 8. It doesn't matter.
Right.
All this is about, I think, is keeping guys in a regular routine in terms of just playing. It's not regular routines because they're in Hoover, Alabama, and it's a conference tournament, and there's nothing routine about the way tournaments are put together. But it's just – like even, I've talked with Matt Hobbs about this, and he was on Chuck and Bo this morning, and he brought this up. Last year, they held Hagen Smith to 40 pitches, and Matt felt that was a huge mistake, the way that it played out the next week. They're not going to do that. They are not going to limit Zach Root when he gets the ball on Friday. If he's looking good and he's gone 7 innings, they may throw him out there for the 8th. It's not going to be overworking him. All it is just keeping people in kind of the same roles, keep staying used to those roles. Because there's nothing to prove and you don't have any more than potentially 3 games to play, you don't bubble wrap your players.
Yeah, and Arkansas is the only SEC team. I think they have 308 in SEC games only. No one else did, hit over 300. They were saying this morning, the TV guys, that Arkansas probably got the most complete team. The one question I'd maybe have, Phil, and I don't know how you feel about this, but the starting pitchers haven't been going that many innings lately. Is that did Matt talk about that at all?
They want more innings from their starters. Absolutely, they want more. The guy Root is giving you more. It wasn't last week. He gave you 6 against LSU. He gave you 8 against Texas. It's just it hasn't been consistently every single week that he's gone past the 5th or the 6th, but he's done it a few times. The guy that I think really needs to take a step forward here is Gage Wood, because he's got the best stuff on the team in terms of starting pitchers, and he's got the ability to be dominant. It's just when he hasn't been good, he's been really bad. When he's been good, he's been really good. It's not like I'm asking him to find somewhere in the middle, but that'd be better than being really bad.
Well, I think by Friday they'll be ready to play some baseball, and it's not like, no more double elimination type stuff or no more feeling like you're there too long. So I think they'll play pretty well this weekend.
Well, I do too. I think they'll keep playing well into the future, but we were always shown with this tournament and with this sport, maybe more so than any of the other sports, Grant, in college, this is the toughest one to predict, college baseball.
Yeah, and it's so much about pitching. I mean, A&M's got a lefty that was just blowing them away, and it can make it look pretty one-sided. So, they were saying this morning too, even that Arkansas would have a really good chance in the College World Series if they make it. So we'll let it play out.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing and we're into the NBA and NHL playoffs, and BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.